Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Luxor. The underworld's in danger, and we gotta save it by squishing some bugs and blasting some balls. Just business as usual here in Egypt. So how are all of you guys doing today? You guys doing good? Hope so. Hope you guys are happy. Hope you guys are healthy. Hope everyone's having a great day. That there's good vibes all around. So my grandparents have a husky. Her name is Angel. Angel is a very sweet dog. Now, I don't know if she was trained, but she doesn't jump up on people. She never jumps. Actually, sometimes she'll try to shake your hand, like she'll give you her paw, which is pretty sweet. But she's always on the lookout for food. She's always trying to take your food. Well, I guess that's most dogs that do that. Now, one thing about huskies I didn't know, they actually don't bark that much. Not like aggressively, but they growl a lot. They make a lot of noise, like "Arr? Arr?" Like they rarely bark, and when she does bark, it's very deep. It's a deep dire wolf bark that the Winterfell would do. Sounds like a dire wolf. Speaking of the dire wolf, they brought it back. On the one hand, that's very impressive that they were able to bring back an extinct type of wolf. But on the other hand, we could use those same resources to try to look out for what we already have before that's gone. The direwolf is cool, don't get me wrong, but all I'm saying is we could put that same effort towards saving the penguins or something. Anyway, so as you would expect from a big husky, she poops. Lots of poop. And my grandparents aren't exactly spring chickens. So, you know, when the people come out and mow the lawn, they mow the poop as well. So that's how I take care of the poop. A few weeks ago, I was there scooping the poop. And their entire backyard was just covered. It was a gold mine. A whole farmer's field of fresh dookie. It was fresh dookie, old dookie, big dookie, small dookie, any kind of dookie that you can think of. There was even more than that. Like, I'd take a few steps, scoop about 10 turds. Take a few more steps, scoop about 10 turds. There's a lot of scooping and a lot of turds. But, hey, I got 20 bucks, and I got some pizza, so in my book, that's a win. Now, I believe I've already shared this, but it was a long time ago. And it was one of my favorite parts of high school, so we're going to do a good old-fashioned recap. So in freshman year of high school, I took a culinary class. Basically, I learned how to cook. And with those skills, I did weird tacos and food abominations that should never see the light of day. That's what I did with my powers. I used it for evil. There might be a watermelon pizza in the near future. Just a heads up. So, it was groups of 4. The whole class was split into groups of 4. Now my group was a freshman, I was a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. So it was a very interesting dynamic. Now the junior, he was a cool dude, but he was a little bit absent-minded. Sometimes he wasn't always paying attention. I forget what it was we were making, but we were making some kind of soup or stew. And we would cook once a week. So on Monday, we would learn about different types of cultures and cuisine. Tuesday, we would learn about what we were going to cook. Wednesday, we would actually cook it. And then either Thursday or Friday, we'd have a test. And I'm not sure what the 5th day was for, but it was culture, preview, cook, test, and then like a free period or something. So this junior kid, we're gonna call him Todd. So like I said, Todd didn't really pay attention a lot of the time, and his soup started boiling over. I'm like, hey Todd, you might want to turn down the heat or take the pan off, it's boiling over. He goes, it'll be fine. And it looks like a big head of beer. It keeps bubbling, and sure enough, it goes over. Now it wasn't just a little bit. It was a whole wave of white bubbles that overflowed the pot and started gushing everywhere. And this man, Todd, loses all sense of awareness. He goes, oh, what do I do? What do I go? Oh god, what do I do? So you guys ever heard the term fight or flight? You know that caveman instinct when you're in danger? You got two choices. You either fight, or you fly, you run away. Well, what they don't tell you is, there's actually a third option, called freeze, where you do neither. And that's what Todd did. He froze. Now, in situations like this, once you let fear and panic take control, you've already lost. It's over. So Todd's out. Like, he's dead. He already started panicking. And the senior, he also starts freaking out like, oh god, it's boiling. And the teacher sees it, and the teacher starts panicking, like, oh god. So I grab some oven mitts, and I just take it off the burner and put it on a burner that's not on. And it keeps coming out for a little bit, and then eventually it stops. Thankfully, there was no fire, nothing ever happened, but it was a big mess to clean up. Now, the kid didn't get in trouble, but he did get kind of yelled at. Like, hey, you gotta pay attention when the stove's on. And then Todd, later in the year, we had some refrigerators in the classroom. He left an orange soda in the freezer. It was like a little drink for himself. And he forgot about it. Now, the thing about soda in the freezer, liquid expands, aluminum does not. So he opened the freezer, and it was basically like an orange slushy all over the freezer. All four walls and the ceiling of that freezer, just orange. It was an orange explosion. And the teacher just sighs. He was like, Todd. So he had to clean that one up. Now the senior, we're going to call him Jason. Jason had a very short fuse. He would get frustrated very easily. Once again, he was also a nice kid, but he just had a bad temper that would get in the way a lot of the time. I think it's called an IEP, but he had an IEP or something. And I also had an IEP, so in the culinary class, me and him actually shared a teacher's aide. Now, her name was Mrs. R. She was very cool. She helped us out a lot. And at the end of each week, he would fill out a form about his behavior and how he did in the class and stuff like that. And he kind of gets an attitude, and he's like, oh boy, it's time to fill out my retard sheet. And Mrs. R is like, hey, you know, come on now, don't be like that. And this kid, Jason, just continues to dig a hole for himself. He keeps having an attitude. He's like, you know what, I'll talk however I want, it doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. And he just keeps making it worse. And at one point, I'm like, hey, just quit while you're ahead, just let it go, it's not worth it. And he's like, I don't care, I'm not gonna let her push me around like this, I'm gonna do whatever I want. And he gets up and he tries to leave the classroom. And the main teacher, not our aide, tries to stop him. And he's like, no, get the F away from me. And we didn't see him for 2 days after that. I think he got temporarily suspended. Now, the sophomore, I actually don't really remember much about him. He didn't really do much one way or another. He wasn't a good kid, but I can't say he was a bad kid either. He was just kind of in the middle. He didn't really do anything to stand out. Now, I don't know who it was, but on the cooking day, there's 4 jobs. There's chef, sous chef, the cleaner. It's like doing dishes afterwards and keeping the area tidy. And I forget what the 4th position was. It was like... oh, I think it was like the recipe planner. Like, they would help, like, okay, we need 4 scoops of this, 2 ladles of that. Now, most of the time, I would get stuck being the cleaner. It was supposed to rotate every time, but the teacher wouldn't really pay attention to who had already done what. And one rule was, do not put sharp knives in the soap water because you can't see the knife in the soapy water. Well, I started doing dishes, I reached my hand in there, and I feel this sharp poking in my hand. And I pull out a sharp knife in the soapy water, and I'm like, oh, nice, I got stabbed. Now this knife actually got me a little bit. There was a little trickle of blood coming out of my hand. Now, I've got a little bit of queso in me. I'm a certified fat ass. And I didn't want to miss out on the food that we were cooking. Because this dish I've been looking forward to. We were making... it wasn't garlic bread, but it was very similar. It was some kind of toasted bread with tomato sauce on it. But it still had tomato chunks in it. And we had this really good soup. I didn't want to miss that. So I tried to, like, cover it up. I got some paper towels. I'm like, oh, okay, nothing to see here. It's fine. And so I just make a little gauze with paper towels and just keep washing dishes like nothing happened. And actually, wait. I remember we also had burgers to go with this soup. It was kind of weird. We had bread, we had soup, and we also had burgers. And they told us to bring our own cheese. And I brought a couple pieces of Kraft cheese from home. So I'm opening up my cheese, and the blood starts again, and it gets on my cheese. And once again, I don't want to say anything. So I just wiped it off the cheese and put it on my burger. And I almost made it. Now, the good news is, I got to eat my soup and I got to eat my bread. And I gotta say, really delicious. And at the end of class, the teacher's like, oh, what's wrong with your hand? And at that point, there was really no hiding it. So it's like, yeah, I got stabbed by a knife. It was in the water. And this teacher goes off. He goes, I told you guys, we don't put knives in the soapy water, and this is why. See, I got sent to the nurse, and she fixed me up. Surprisingly, I did not get an ice pack. I just got a band-aid. Usually they give you ice packs for everything. You break your leg, you go unconscious, you're depressed, ice pack. And if that doesn't work, they might give you 2 ice packs. But the good news is I got to eat my food, so that was the big win for me. Now, I think it was before the first day of school, it was a couple days before the year started. And, you know, everyone was telling us about classes we should take. Like, oh, come take art, it's fun. Come take music, it's cool. And for the culinary class, there was this dude standing outside the classroom, and they had buttermilk pancakes. It's like, everybody, buttermilk pancakes, right this way, people, come on in, we got some buttermilk pancakes here. Now, I had already signed up for culinary before I heard that, before I got to this little orientation day. But I will say, if I wasn't signed up then, the buttermilk pancakes would have done me in. I would have signed up on the spot. And we did get to try some, and they were pretty good. We actually got to cook on the first day of culinary school. We made chocolate chip cookies. We started out with something nice and easy. Just get some dough, put it on the sheet, put it in the oven. Now, when we cooked, we had to wear aprons, so that way all the food would fall on the apron and not our clothes. And I always had a hard time tying it. Okay, so I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of have a hard time, like, tying my shoes and buttoning my pants and stuff. For some reason, belts, strings, and buttons are my enemy. I can't really figure those out. So, with aprons, it was a step further. You had to tie it behind your back. So it's hard enough when I can see, so when I can't see, I think I, like, asked the teacher's aide to do it for me one time. So what I did, after that happened, I would just keep it tied. I would pull it down around my feet, step out of it, hang it up. And the next time we cooked, I would take it, step back into it, pull it up, shabam, already tied. Well, one time, someone else had the apron in the class before me. I get it, and it's untied. Some poor unfortunate soul undid my knot. So I'm kind of panicking, like, oh, what do I do? So I just left it untied, because it had like a neck part where it would hang on your neck. But the teachers were anal about you having it tied. So I kind of tried to stay hidden, and so far it was working. No one's noticing. And I forget what we were making on this day, but we were using the ovens. So I put my dish in the oven, I close it, and one of the strings gets caught in the oven. And I'm able to pull it out, no problem, just slides right out. Well, about 5 minutes later, I put something else in the oven, string gets caught again. This time, I can't pull it out of the oven. I'm yanking on it, and it's not working. And teacher walked over, freaked out, and thankfully I didn't get in trouble. She's like, hey, can you tie that? It took me about 5 minutes, but after that I was able to somehow figure it out. Wait, don't open it! That's Pandora's box, don't open it! Wait. Pandora's Greek. Never mind. This is Egypt. Egypt is cursed boxes. Wait, we still opened it. Shit. Now we gotta kill all these bugs. Basically, this level is just for points. It doesn't really do anything for you. Coins are what you want to go for, because you can actually use those to upgrade the power-ups. And that is Stage 9 completed. And you know what else is complete? This video. Yes, this was pre-recorded, because some of these get quite long. I don't really want the videos above 30 minutes, unless it's a special one. And if I speed it up after I talk, it's going to sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and you're not going to understand it. So, gotta get a little creative here. Anyway, that is the end. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And everybody, just do me a little favor. Have yourselves a great day. See you next time. You still here? It's over. Go home.